This dog was thrown out on the street, and it decided to assemble an entire dog army to get revenge. The title of the movie is White God, and it definitely won't leave you indifferent. A girl named Lily is riding her bicycle along the city streets, looking for someone. All of a sudden, a pack of stray dogs starts chasing her. The girl pedals as fast as she can, but the dogs get closer with each passing moment. We are taken back in time to the not-so-distant past. Lily is cheerfully playing with her beloved dog Hagen. Her mom moves to Australia, and the girl is left with her dad, who works as a butcher. The man can't stand animals. He locks Hagen in the bathroom overnight. The poor dog howls pitifully, and the girl tries to calm him down. Morning comes. We see that Lily spent the night in the bathroom along with Hagen. Someone rings the doorbell. It turns out that all dog owners have to pay a tax for their pets. The man refuses to do so. Lily runs away from home and takes her furry friend to the music school. She hides Hagen in the closet so he doesn't disturb the other students. But the dog breaks out and ruins the rehearsal. The chief conductor becomes furious and insists on expelling Lily from the orchestra. The girl is found on the streets by her father. It turns out that he has been looking for her all day long and even wanted to call the police. The man threatens to send Hagen to a shelter. Lily begs her father not to do so. At that point, her father pulls Hagen out of the car, leaves him in the middle of the road, and drives away with his daughter. Hagen runs after his owner. Lily screams and cries, while her father presses harder on the gas pedal. Hagen is terrified. He is surrounded by heavy traffic and nearly ends up under the wheels several times. The next day dawns. Hagen howls pitifully and drinks water from a muddy puddle. He sets off in search of his owner once again. Soon, the dog learns to cross the road when the traffic light is green. Hagen gets to the market where meat and sausages are sold. The starving dog looks at the food with expectation. Another stray dog appears nearby. Hagen follows it and sees that there are many of them. The dogs feed on meat scraps thrown in the garbage cans. They start barking. One of the salesmen shows up and chases them away from his stall. All the dogs run away, and only Hagen stays and howls pitifully. This butcher doesn't like animals either, so he decides to punish Hagen for his insolence. He picks up a huge knife and corners the dog. Luckily, another street dog shows up right in time to save Hagen. It bites the man's leg, making him slip and giving our hero a chance to escape. He rushes down the street with his new friend and ends up in the wasteland inhabited by dozens of stray dogs. Apparently, this is what his new home looks like. In the morning, several vans arrive at the wasteland. These are dog catchers. The dogs realize that they are in great danger and scatter in different directions. Alas, not all of them manage to escape. The catchers capture most of the dogs and drag them into their vans. Hagen attempts to escape but soon finds himself at a dead end. He licks one of the catcher's hand and shows him he is not aggressive. But the man doesn't care about it. Hagen is once again rescued by his new friend. They manage to escape from the catchers. As the dogs run along the city streets, he is spotted by a homeless person. The man hides Hagen and doesn't give him away to the dog catchers. Several other dogs manage to escape. The tramp decides to keep Hagen as his pet. He feeds the dog some of his leftover food and makes him a leash out of a rope. Meanwhile, Lily's father brings her to the music school and asks the conductor to give her a second chance. Another rehearsal begins. The girl can't play because of anxiety, so she gets on her bicycle and leaves in search of Hagen. She puts up posters all over the city with information about the lost dog and shouts her friend's name loudly. In the evening, it starts to rain. Lily meets her music school mates and confesses that she is looking for Hagen. One of the guys tries to support her. Looks like Lily has strong feelings for him. She even becomes jealous, spotting him with another girl from the orchestra. The next day, the tramp sells Hagen to the owner of a local restaurant. He ties the dog to a pole in the basement. There are several dogs beside him. All of them bark loudly, but they can't break free. The restaurant owner shows his dogs to a man who arranges dog fights. The man looks at Hagen with interest and decides to buy him. He gives the dog some pills. Turns out they were sedatives. Hagen finds himself in his new home. The man treats him some food containing some sort of a drug. After finishing his meal, Hagen starts barking loudly. The protagonist is kept in a cramped rage. He gets angrier and angrier with each passing day. The thing is that he is trained with a whip and a stick, forced to catch a piece of raw meat hanging on a hook and run on a treadmill. What's even worse, he's constantly being punished. The new owner gives Hagen another injection. The dog immediately feels unwell. Soon he passes out. During his sleep, the man sharpens the dog's fangs. After that, he takes a piece of raw meat and nails it to a wooden board. As Hagen tries to eat it, the man teases him, thus preparing for the dog fight. We see that Hagen is no longer the kind dog he used to be. Lily doesn't give up hope of finding her friend. One day, she visits a dog shelter. The owner of the shelter looks at Hagen's picture and says that they have never seen this dog before. In the evening, the new owner takes Hagen to his first fight. He bets €1,000 on his pet. The fight begins. I won't describe it to keep your mental health safe. Hagen practically massacres the other dog in the ring, and, catching the right moment, immediately escapes from his cruel owner. He rushes down the road, trying to get as far away from this creepy place as possible. Meanwhile, Lily asks the handsome guy from the orchestra to take her to the club. This is how she first enters a place where grown-up youngsters have fun. Inside, Lily's boyfriend asks another girl from the orchestra to dance. Soon, Lily feels sick and lies down on the floor. The girl is brought to her senses by club security. She is taken to the police station. Lily's father arrives and takes his daughter home. The man suddenly starts crying and promises the girl to get a new dog from the shelter. But Lily replies that she doesn't need it. A new day is dawning. Hagen meets the same dog who saved his life several times before. They both whine pitifully, as if recounting their adventures, and then hide from the rain together. Eventually, stray animal catchers find them once again. This time there are too many of them. Hagen is caught and taken to the shelter. He got some injuries during the fight, so he is separated from the other dogs. And as you can see, this place is overcrowded. The dogs watch the Tom and Jerry cartoon. They look at the screen with great interest. Hagen witnesses a shelter worker putting one of the dogs down in the neighboring room. The protagonist is locked in a cage. The other dogs start barking loudly and howling pitifully. The next day, people who want to adopt a pet come to the shelter. One boy likes Hagen, but the dog barks and lashes out at him. The owner of the shelter decides to put him down. Hagen is dragged into a cage where the most aggressive animals are kept. In the meantime, Lily takes part in a concert on the big stage. When a shelter worker opens the cage with the ferocious dogs, Hagen starts growling furiously and lunges at him. The cage is open, so the other dogs break free too. We see there are not dozens, but hundreds of them. The owner of the shelter faces the pack of dogs. She sees that Hagen's face is stained with something red and realizes everything. The woman's life will be cut short soon. The stray dogs escape from their prison. No one will torture or abuse them anymore. Meanwhile, hundreds of stray dogs wander all over the city. Passers-by scatter away in terror. People lock their homes and hide in their cars. Dozens of hungry dogs attack anyone they encounter on their way. The city is in chaos. The concert in which Lily takes part is in full swing. The girl performs her part perfectly. But suddenly, several stray dogs break into the concert hall. Lily realizes that Hagen is among them and wants to go outside to find him. Her friend from the orchestra helps her leave the building through an emergency exit. She sets off in search of Hagen. Here is the moment we saw at the very beginning of the movie. Lily is riding her bike and a pack of stray dogs is chasing her. The girl pedals harder but suddenly falls off the bike. The dogs run past her and don't attack. Lily sees that she has a scraped knee. She gets back on her bike and continues the search. Evening comes. Hagen finds the restaurant owner who sold him to the man arranging the dog fights and takes revenge on him for all the offenses. Lily is still riding all over the city. She hears a dog barking nearby and notices red stains on the window of one of the stores. The police show up and want to take Lily home, but the girl escapes from the car, takes her bike and keeps looking for Hagen. She finds another victim of the aggressive dogs. It seems to be the meat seller who hated them so much. The witnessed scene makes Lily vomit in the sink. The entire city's police force is involved in eliminating the furry fugitives. Many shots are heard. Some of the dogs fall to the ground. A curfew is imposed in the city. People are asked not to leave their homes. However, the ferocious dogs manage to get into the apartment of Hagen's former owner. Our shaggy protagonist cruelly takes revenge on the man who turned him into a monster. The police continues the hunt. However, the number of stray dogs isn't decreasing. Lily returns home. There, she finds the total mess and a neighbor lying on the floor. The girl screams with horror, grabs her keys and rushes to her father's workplace. Hagen arrives there at the same time, and so Lily finally meets her shaggy friend. But is it the cheerful and sweet dog she used to know? No, the girl is now facing a real wild beast. The entire pack of stray dogs appears behind him, and Lily tries to run away from them. Suddenly, everyone stops, and we see that Hagen is the leader of the pack. Lily calls out for her father. The dog growls. The girl's dad shows up with a blowtorch in his hand. Lily takes her musical instrument and starts playing. The dogs stop barking. Hagen sits down and whines pitifully, singing along with his owner. The other dogs do the same. Soon, all the dogs lie down obediently on the ground. Lily also lies down next to them and looks sadly at Hagen.